Hey learners, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Wardha. This lecture is for the BCom first semester for subject Business Economics. So, in today's lecture, we are going to start our last unit under this subject, that is fourth unit. And the name of this unit is Theory of Cost and Revenue. This unit is particularly divided into three chapters. So first chapter over here is law of supply, the second one is cost concept, and third one is revenue concept. So today we are going to start with the first chapter, that is law of supply. So before understanding the law of supply, we need to understand the meaning of supply and the factors which influences the supply in the markets. So let's begin. So guys, when we talk about the supply, so very basic questions or very basic concept that we need to understand is what is supply? So see what is being said over here. Supply of commodity is defined as quantity that a seller is able and willing to sell at a particular price during given period of time. So for supply, for effective supply in the market, what are the four conditions that are essential? First, a seller should be able to sell a commodity under consideration. Second thing is there, a seller must be willing to sell his commodity in the market. Okay, the next one is there should be particular price stated for that commodity, and all this process should occur during a given period of time. Like in demand, we said there are four essentials, like there should be price, it should be specific to a certain time period, then there should be willingness to buy, and there should be purchasing power. In the same way, in supply as well, there are four essential conditions, and they are seller must be able and willing to sell. The second one is there should be the specific price of the commodity, and next one is it should be related to specific period of time like a month, a year, a week, etc. Okay, so I hope now you're clear with the meaning of supply. Now let's understand this with the help of an example. Like there is a seller who produces who manufactures 5,000 pen. Okay, who manufactures 5,000 pen, and he decides that I would supply in market, I would offer in market 4,000 pen. Okay, 4,000 pen. Now what happens? Due to some damages, due to some problem, due to some reason, 100 pen gets damaged. Okay, 100 pen gets damaged. Now how much pen he can offer in the market? Only 3,900 pens. Okay, so 3,900 pens he can offer in the market. So here the supply in the market is 3,900 pen. Why? Because here the supplier is able to supply those pens in the market. Supplier is willing to supply those pens in the market, and will say that it would be supplied in 1 month. So there is a time period at the cost of ₹10 per pen. So there is price as well. So this 3,900 pen would be called as supply. Okay. So I hope now you are clear with the meaning of supply. Now the next concept that we are going to see here is difference between the stock versus supply. So can we say that stock and supply is one and the same thing? So the answer is no. There is difference between the stock and supply. So let's see what's the basic difference between stock and supply. See, stock means the total quantity of a particular commodity available with the firm at a point of time. Like in our example, what we have seen a manufacturer produces 5,000 pen. Okay, so this is the stock of that manufacturer as he is producing 5,000 pen. And the second thing over in the concept of stock is it relates to a point of time. Point of time is not equal to the period of time. Like I will say at 26 Feb 2021 there is 5,000 pen with the XYZ Limited. So it's going to be the stock of XYZ Limited. Now what is basically the supply? Supply is it changes with the change in price. Okay, so see what happens when these pens have been produced. So price which were prevailing in the market for this pen were 10 rupees, and at this 10 rupees the supplier was supplying 4,000 units. Okay, but now what happens? The price of this pens increases from 10 rupees to 12 rupees. Now what is happening? The price of this pen are increasing in the market, and therefore what supplier will do? Supplier, in order to maximize his profit, in order to earn maximum profit, can supply all the pens which are there in the stock. Okay, so therefore it is said that supply changes with the change in price, and it relates to period of time. Period of time refers to month, year, week, etc. Okay, so now I hope you are clear with the concept of stock and supply. Now we will see the determinants of supply. Okay, so see, like in the concept of demand, we have seen there are various factors which influences demand. In the same way, there are various factors which influences the supply in the market. And when we are talking about the supply, so it is a law which expresses the producer's behavior. So here, what is the basic objective of the supply producer? Like consumer's basic objective is maximization of satisfaction in the minimum possible resources. In the same way, producer is also having the objective of maximizing the profit. Okay. So now we will see various determinants of supply. First one over here is price of goods. Price of good means price of that good which are in question, which are under consideration. Okay, so there is direct relationship between the price and supply. When the price of goods increases, in the market, so supply also increases in the market. Like in our earlier example, we have seen that when the price of pen were 10 rupees, so supplier were ready to supply only 3,900 pens in the market. But when the price of pen has increased from 10 to 12 rupees, so what supplier has done? He has increased the supply from 4,000 pens to 5,000 pens. Because when there is going to be the more price, when there is going to be the higher price, he can have more profit. Therefore, when the price of goods increases in the market, so supply of the particular commodity also increases in the market. So price is one of the important factors that determines the supply in the market. The next one is price of related goods. See, when we talk about the price of related goods, so it is basically resources related with the limited resources. When we talk about the resources, so they are limited, like land is limited, like capital is limited. Okay, and one thing is the resources are limited, and another thing is they are having alternative uses that we are going to understand with the help of an example. Like see, a farmer is having land. Okay, now he can use it for the agriculture purpose, or he can use it for the setting up of plant. He can use it for many purposes. Now we will assume that he produces wheat and rice in this particular piece of land. Now what happens? The price of that wheat increases in the market. Okay, price of wheat increases in the market. So now he thinks that I'm going to earn more profit if I'm going to produce wheat. So what will he do? He will produce more portion of wheat over the rice, because the price of this wheat are higher. And because of this, the supply of this wheat will increase in the market, and the supply of rice decline in the market. So in this way, when the price of related goods increases, so the supply of the original goods declines in the market. Okay. Next one over here is price of factors of production. See, factors of production plays very important role. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. These are the various factors of production which plays very important role in determining the supply. As the demand for these factors increases, their price also increases. And when the factors of production are costly, so what happens? The cost of production increases. And when the cost of production of a particular commodity increases, so price of that and price remains constant, so profit of the firm declines. Okay, declines during a given period of time. And that is why when the profit declines, so of course the supplier will produce less. Okay, and there would be decrease in supply of a particular commodity in the market. So price of factor of production is also is one of the important determinant. The next one is state of technology. See, what happens when there is improvement in the state of technology, so there is advancement in the products, okay? Like when the computers and the laptops have been introduced in the market, so the demand for the typewriter have been reduced in the market, and when the demand for those typewriters have been reduced in the market, so of course the producers have decided to reduce its production, and the supply of those outdated items have also reduced in the market. So this way the state of technology brings invention and innovation in the market, so it is also having its impact on the supply of a particular commodity. The next one over here is government policy. When we talk about the government policy, so it is having its impact on the supply of a particular commodity by two ways. One by the way of taxation and another by way of subsidy. See, government is imposing higher taxes on certain commodities, okay? So what will happen, commodity will become expensive in the market, and when something becomes expensive in the market, price of some commodity increases, so what happens, demand for that particular commodity declines in the market. So when the tax would be charged on the particular commodity, so on one hand its demand will decline in the market, and on other hand the cost of producer will also increase, cost of production will also increase, because of which the profit of the producer will minimize, and therefore he will supply less when the taxes are imposed. The next one is subsidies. See, if the government wants to increase the supply of particular commodity in the market, so what will it do? It will start providing incentives to the customer in the form of subsidies. When the subsidies are given to the producer, so what happens? Basically, the cost of production reduces, and when the cost of production reduces, so what happens, the profits are maximized, and when the profits are maximized, so suppliers are ready to supply more in the market. So therefore this way government policy is one of the important factor that determines the supply of commodity. Next one is size of industry. See, when the firms see that the demand for the particular commodity is increasing in the market, people are ready to accept that commodities at a particular price, so new firms get enter into the market, and because of this the size of industry increases, and when the size of industry increases, so the output also increases, and due to this increase in output the supply also increases in the market. So therefore size of industry plays very crucial role. The another one is goals and objectives of the firm. Generally what happens, there is more supply at higher price, but sometimes what happens, the firm is having aim to penetrate the market, to capture more and more market share, and therefore what do? They are ready to supply more at a lower price as well, like Jio has done. They were supplying more at the lower prices because they wanted to penetrate the more share of the telecom sector. So this way goals and objectives of the firm also determines the supply of a particular product in the market. So in this lecture we have covered the meaning of supply, concept of supply, and the determinants of supply. In our next lecture we will move further. Till then, keep studying. Thank you.